orphan son of a Scotsman dropped in the middle of a forgotten spot in the Caribbean by providence, impoverished in squalor, grow up to be a hero and a scholar. The $10 founding father without a father got a lot further by working a lot harder, by being a lot smarter, by being a self-starter. By 14 they placed him in charge of a trading charter, and every day while slaves were being slaughtered and carted away across the waves, he struggled and kept his guard up. Inside he was longing for something to be a part of. The brother was ready to beg, steal, borrow or barter. Then a hurricane came and devastation reigned. Our man saw his future dripping down the drain, put a pencil to his temple, connected it to his brain, and he wrote his first refrain, a testament to his pain. Well, the word got around, they said this kid is insane, man. Took up a collection just to send him to the mainland. Get your education, don't forget from whence you came, and the world's gonna know your name. What's your name, man? Alexander Hamilton. My name is Alexander Hamilton, and there's a million things I haven't done, but just you wait, just you wait. When he was 10, his father split, full of it, debt-ridden. 2 years later, see Alex and his mother bedridden, half dead, sitting in their own sick, the scent thick, and Alex got better, but his mother went quick. Moved in with the cousin left him with nothing but ruined pride. Something new inside, a voice saying, Alex, you gotta fend for yourself. He started retreating and reading every treatise on the shelf. There would have been nothing left to do for someone less astute. He would have been dead or destitute without a cent of restitution. Started working, clerking for his late mother's landlord, trading sugar cane and rum and all the things he can't afford, scamming for every book he could get his hands on, planning for the future. See him now as he stands in the bow of a ship headed for a new land. In New York, you can be a new man. In New York, you can be a new man. In New York, you can be a new man. In New York, you can be a new man. In New York, just you wait. Alexander Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton, we are waiting in the wings for you. You could never back down, you never learn to take your time. Whoa, Alexander Hamilton, Alexander Hamilton, when America sings for you, will they know what you overcame? Will they know you rewrote the game? The world will never be the same. Whoa, the ship is in the harbor now, see if you can spot him. Another immigrant coming up from the bottom. His enemies destroyed his rap, America forgot him. We fought with him, me, I died for him. Me, I trusted him. Me, I loved him, and me, I'm the fool that shot him. There's a million things I haven't done, but just you wait. What's your name, man? Alexander Hamilton. This song was the opening number in the play. It explains Alexander Hamilton's backstory and fills you in on events leading up to just before the Revolutionary War. This next one is right after Alexander Hamilton meets Aaron Burr, at least in the play. Hamilton is introducing himself to a couple of guys, one named John Lawrence, one named Hercules Mulligan, and the other was named Marquis de Lafayette. Hamilton befriends the guys, and they decide they are going to fight in the war. I am not throwing away my shot. I'm not throwing away my shot. Hey, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I'ma get a scholarship to King's College. I probably shouldn't brag, but dag, I am amazed and astonished. The problem is I got a lot of brains but no polish. I gotta holler just to be heard with every word. I drop knowledge, I'm a diamond in the rough. I shine a piece of gold, trying to reach my goal. My power speech unimpeachable. Only 19, but my mind is older. These New York City streets get colder. I show to every burden, every disadvantage I've learned to manage. I don't have a gun to brandish out woolly streets famish. The plan is to fan this spark into a flame, but it's getting dark, so let me spell the name. I am the ALEXANDER. We are meant to be a colony that runs independently. Meanwhile, Britain keep it in on us endlessly. Essentially, they tax us relentlessly. Then King George turns around and runs the spending spree. He ain't never gonna set his descendants free, so there will be a revolution this century. Enter me, he says in parentheses. Don't be shocked when your history book mentions me. I will lay down my life if it sets us free. Eventually, you'll see my ascendancy, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I'm not throwing away my shot. Hey, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. I'm not throwing away my shot. Hey, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. It's time to take a shot. I dream of life without the monarchy. The Emerson forms to lead to anarchy. Anarchy, I say, anarchy. When I fight that makes the other side panicky with my shot. You're my tailor's apprentice, and I got y'all knuckleheads and local parentis. I'm joining the rebellion cause I know it's my chance to socially advance. Instead it's only in some pants, I'm gonna take a shot. But we'll never be truly free until those in bondage have the same rights as you and me. You and I, do or die. Wait till I sally in on a stallion with the 1st Black Battalion. Have another shot. Geniuses, lower your voices. You keep out of trouble and you double your choices. I'm with you, but the situation is fraught. You got to be carefully taught. If you talk, you're gonna get shot. Bird, check what we got. Mr. Lafayette, hard rock like Lancelot. I think your pants look hot. Lorenzo like you a lot. Let's hatch a plot blacker than the kettle calling the pot. What are the odds of God to put us all in one spot? Pumping a squad of conventional wisdom, like it or not. A bunch of revolutionary manumission abolitionists. Give me a position, show me where the ammunition is. Or am I talking too loud? Sometimes I get overexcited. Shoot off at the mouth. I never had a group of friends before. I promise that I'll make y'all proud. Let's get this guy in front of a crowd. I am not throwing away my shot. I'm not throwing away my shot. Hey, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. Everybody sing, whoa, 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 whoa. Let 'em hear ya. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, let him hear ya. Rise up when you're living on your knees. You rise up. Tell your brother that he's gotta rise up. Tell your sister that she's gotta rise up. One of these colonies gonna 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 rise up. Rise up. I imagine that so much it feels more like a memory. Once again to get me in my sleep 7 feet ahead of me. If I see it coming, do I run or do I let it be? Is it like a beat without a melody? See, I never thought I'd live past 20. Where I come from, some get half as many. Ask anybody why we're living fast and we laugh, reach for a flask. We have to make this moment last. That's plenty. Scratch that. This is not a moment, it's a movement. Where we're the hungriest brothers with something to prove. When foes oppose us, we take an honest stand. We roll like Moses, claiming our promised land. And if we win our independence, will that be a guaranteed freedom for our descendants? Will the blood be shed, begin an endless cycle of vengeance, a death with no defendants? I know the action in the street is exciting, but between all the bleeding and fighting, I've been reading, writing. We need to handle our financial situation. Are we a nation or state? What's the state of our nation? I'm past patiently waiting, I'm passionately smashing every expectation. Every action's an act of creation. I'm laughing in the face of casualties and sorrow. The first time I think it past tomorrow, and I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. Hey, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot. I'm not throwing away my shot. Hey, I'm just like my country. I'm young, scrappy, and hungry, and I'm not throwing away my shot. We gonna rise up, time to take a shot. We gonna rise up, time to take a shot. We gonna rise up, it's time to take a shot. Rise up, and I'm not throwing away my shot. We may not yet have reached our glory, but I will gladly join the fight. And when our children tell their story, They'll tell the story of tonight. They'll tell the story of tonight. Raise a glass to freedom, something they can never take away. No matter what they tell you, let's have another round tonight. Raise a glass to the four of us. Tomorrow there'll be more of us, telling the story of tonight. They'll tell the story of tonight. Raise a glass to freedom, something they can never take away. No matter what they tell you, let's have another round tonight. Raise a glass to the four of us. Tomorrow there'll be more of us, telling the story of tonight. They'll tell the story of tonight. This next song is sung by King George III he's basically whining about how much he wants his colonies back and how determined he is to win the war. You say the price of my love's not a price that you're willing to pay. You cry in your tea, which you hurl in the sea when you see me go by. Why so sad? Remember we made an arrangement when you went away. Now you're making me mad. Even despite our estrangement, I'm your man. You'll be back, soon you'll see. You'll remember you belong to me. You'll be back, time will tell. You'll remember that I served you well. Oceans rise, empires fall. We have seen each other through it all. And when push comes to shove, I will send a fully armed battalion to remind you of my love. Da 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 da, da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 da. You say your love is draining and you can't go on. You'll be the one complaining when I am gone. Don't change the subject, 'cause you're my favorite subject. My sweet, submissive subject. My loyal, royal subject. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. You'll be back like before. I will fight the fight and win the war. For your love, for your praise, and I will love you till my dying days. When you're gone, I'll go mad, so don't throw away this thing we had. 'Cause when push comes to shove, I will kill your friends and family to remind you of my love. Da 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 da, da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 da. Everybody, da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da 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 ya da. This next song is sung by Aaron Burr. He's singing about how much he can't stand Hamilton and why. Theodosia writes me a letter every day. He's on the British side in Georgia, trying to keep the colonies in line. But he can have all of Georgia. Theodosia, she's mine. Love doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes, and we keep living anyway. We laugh and we cry and we break and we make our mistakes. And if there's a reason I'm still alive when so many have died, then I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. My grandfather was a fire and redstone preacher, but there are things that the homilies and hymns won't teach ya. My father was a genius, my mother commanded respect. When they died, they left no instructions, just a legacy to protect. And death doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes, and we keep living anyway. We rise and we fall and we break and we make our mistakes. And if there's a reason I'm still alive when so many have died, then I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. Wait for, wait for, wait for, wait for it. I am the one thing in life I can control. I am inimitable, I am an original. I'm not falling behind or running late. I'm not standing still, I am lying in wait. Hamilton faces an endless uphill climb. He has something to prove, he has nothing to lose. Hamilton's pace is relentless, he wastes no time. What is it like in his shoes? Hamilton doesn't hesitate. He exhibits no restraint. He takes and he takes and he takes and he keeps winning anyway. Changes the game, plays and he raises the stakes. And if there's a reason he seems to thrive when so few survive, then I'm willing to wait for it. I'm willing to wait for it. Life doesn't discriminate between the sinners and the saints. It takes and it takes and it takes, and we keep living anyway. We rise and we fall and we break and we make our mistakes. And if there's a reason I'm still alive when so many have died, then I'm willing to wait for it, wait for it, wait. Wait for it, wait for it, wait. I was younger than you are now when I was given my first command. I led my men straight into a massacre. I witnessed their deaths firsthand. I made every mistake and felt the shame rise in me. And even now I lie awake, knowing history has its eyes on me. Let me tell you what I wish I'd known when I was young and dreamed of glory. You have no control who lives, who dies, who tells your story. I know that we can win. I know that greatness lies in you. Just remember from here on in, history has its eyes on you. History has its eyes on you. Next song, microphone. This song is sung by both Hamilton and Aaron Burr about their newborn children. Dear Theodosia, what to say to you? You have my eyes, you have your mother's name. When you came into the world, you cried, and it broke my heart. I'm dedicating every day to you. Domestic life was never quite my style. When you smile, you knock me out, I fall apart. And I thought I was so smart. You will come of age with our young nation. We'll bleed and fight for you. We'll make it right for you. If we lay a strong enough foundation, we'll pass it on to you. We'll give the world to you, and you'll blow us all away. Someday, someday. Yeah, you'll blow us all away. Someday, someday. Oh, Philip, when you smile, I am undone. My son, look at my son. Pride is not the word I'm looking for. There is so much more inside me now. Philip, you outshine the morning sun, my son. When you smile, I fall apart, and I thought I was so smart. My father wasn't around, my father wasn't around. I swear that I'll be around for you. I'll do whatever it takes, I'll make a million mistakes. I'll make the world safe and sound for you. You will come of age with our young nation. We'll plead and fight for you. We'll make it right for you. If we lay a strong enough foundation, we'll pass it on to you. We'll give the world to you, and you'll blow us all away. Someday, someday. Yeah, you'll blow us all away. Someday, someday. Yeah, you'll blow us all away. This song is sung by mainly Aaron Burr. Hamilton is being included in some pretty big decisions with James Madison and Thomas Jefferson, and Burr is very upset that he is not with them. Two Virginians and an immigrant walk into a room diametrically opposed foes. They emerge with a compromise, having opened doors that were previously closed. Bros, the immigrant emerges with unprecedented financial power, a system he can shape wherever he wants. And the Virginians emerge with the nation's capital. And here's the pièce de résistance. No one else is in the room, wherever it happened, the room, wherever it happened, the room, wherever it happened. No one else is in the room, wherever it happened, the room, wherever it happened, the room, wherever it happened. No one really knows how the game is played, the art of the trade, how the sausage gets made. We just assume that it happens, and no one else is in the room wherever it happens. Thomas claims Alexander was on Washington's doorstep one day in distress and disarray. Alexander said, "I've nowhere else to turn," and basically begged me to join the fray. I approached Madison and said, "I know you hate him, but let's hear what he has to say." Well, I arranged the meeting, I arranged the menu, the venue, the seating, but no one else is in the room, wherever it happened, the room, wherever it happened, the room, wherever it happened. No one else is in the room, wherever it happened, the room, wherever it happened, the room, wherever it happened. No one really knows how the parties get to yes. The pieces that are sacrificed in every game of chess. We just assume that it happens, and no one else is in the room, wherever it happens. Meanwhile, Madison is grappled at the fact that not every issue can be settled by committee. And Congress is fighting over where to put the capital. It isn't pretty. Then Jefferson approaches with a dinner and invite to Madison responds with Virginian insight. Maybe we can solve one problem with another and win a victory for the Southerners. In other words, a quid pro quo, well, I suppose. Now, wouldn't you like to work a little closer to home? Actually, I would. Well, I propose the Potomac and you'll provide him his votes. Well, we'll see how it goes. Let's go. No one else is in the room, wherever it happened, the room, wherever it happened, the room, wherever it happened. No one else is in the room, wherever it happened, the room, wherever it happened, the room, wherever it happened. My God, in God we trust, but we never really know what got discussed. Click, boom, then it happened. And no one else is in the room, wherever it happened. And Alexander Hamilton, what did they say to you to get you to sell New York City down the river? Alexander Hamilton, did Washington know about the dinner? Was that presidential pressure to deliver? Alexander Hamilton. Or did you know even then it doesn't matter where you put the U.S. Capitol, cause we'll have the banks. We're in the same spot. You got more than you gave, and I wanted what I got. When you got skin in the game, you stay in the game, but you don't get a win unless you play in the game. Oh, you get love for it, you get hate for it, you get nothing if you wait for it, wait for it, wait. God help and forgive me, I wanna build something that's gonna outlive me. What do you want, Burr? What do you want, Burr? If you stand for nothing, Burr, what do you fall for? I wanna be in the room wherever it happens, the room wherever it happens. I wanna be in the room wherever it happens, the room wherever it happens. I wanna be in the room wherever it happens. I wanna be in the room. Oh, I wanna be in. I've got to be in the room, that big old room. Art of the compromise. Hold your nose and close your eyes. We want our leaders to save the day, but we don't get a say in what they trade away. We dream of a brand new start, but we dream in the dark for the most part. Dark as the tomb where it happens. I've got to be in the room wherever it happens. I've got to be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens, the room where it happens. Thanks. The next song is sung by Madison, Jefferson, and Burr about how George Washington just about owns Alexander Hamilton. It must be nice to have Washington on your side. It must be nice to have Washington on your side. Every action has an equal opposite reaction. Thanks to Hamilton, our cabinet's fractured into factions. Try not to crack under the stress, we're breaking down like fractions. We smack each other in the press and we don't print retractions. I get no satisfaction witnessing his fits of passion, the way he prims and preems and dresses like the pits of fashion. Our poorer citizens, our farmers live ration to ration, as Wall Street robs them blind in search of chips to cash in. This is asking for someone to bring him to task. Somebody give me some sort of vacuous mass so we can at last unmask him. I'll pull the trigger on him, someone load the gun and cock it. While we were all watching, he got Washington in his pocket. It must be nice to have Washington on your side. It must be nice to have Washington on your side. Look back at the Bill of Rights, which I wrote, the ink hasn't dried. Still, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. So we stubble the sights of the government, without the trouble with much of our previous government size. Look in his eyes, see how he lies, follow the scent of his enterprise, centralizing national credit and making American credit competitive. If we don't stop it, we ain't independent. I have to resign. Somebody has to stand up for the South. No, somebody has to stand up to his mouth. If there's a fire trying to douse, you can't put it down from inside the house. I'm in the cabinet and I am complicit in watching the grabbing and power of kissing. If Washington isn't go listen to discipline, dissonance, the difference, this kid is out. Oh, this immigrant isn't somebody we chose. Oh, this immigrant's keeping us on our toes. Oh, let's show these Federalists who they're up against. Oh, Southern Democratic Republicans. Oh, we'll follow the money and see where it goes. Oh, because every second the treasury grows. Oh, we'll follow the money and see where it leads. Get in the weeds and look for the seeds of Hamilton's misdeeds. It must be nice. The emperor has no clothes. We won't be invisible. We won't be denied. Still, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. final song is sung by after Alexander Hamilton's death, about who will tell his story now that he's gone. Let me tell you what I wish I'd known when I was young and dreamed of glory. You have no control who lives, who dies, who tells your story. President Thomas, I'll give him this. His financial system was a work of genius. I couldn't undo it if I tried, and I tried. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? President Madison, he took our country from bankruptcy to prosperity. I hate to admit it, but he doesn't get enough credit for all the credit he gave us. Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? Every other founding father story gets told. Every other founding father gets to grow old. But when you're gone, who remembers your name? Who keeps your flame? Who tells your story? Who tells your story? I put myself back in the narrative. I stop wasting time on tears. I live another 50 years, it's not enough. I interview every soldier who fought by your side. She tells our story. She is better than... I interview every soldier who fought by your side. She tells our story. I try to make sense of your thousands of pages of writings. You really do write like you're running out of time. I rely on Angelica. While she's alive, we tell your story. She is buried in Trinity Church near you. When I needed her most, she was right on time. And I'm still not through. I ask myself, what would you do if you had more time? The Lord in His kindness, He gives me what you always wanted. He gives me more time. I raise funds in D.C. for the Washington Monument. She tells our story. I speak out against slavery. You could have done so much more if you only had time. But when my time is up, have I done enough? Will they tell our story? I can't wait to see you again. It's only a matter of time. Will they tell your story time? Who lives, who dies, who tells your story time? Will they tell your story time? Who lives, who dies, who tells your story? Had the best idea ever. Take this class. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. That's it. Again, thank all of you for coming out. I hope it was worth your time. Thank you. See you next time.